story.
Thank you. And this story also happens to come from, well, from Cuba, from Mexico, also New Mexico. And if you were in the first storytelling children's section, there was Aunt Leanne told a story that about the old woman and her pig. That story came from England and then traveled with people as they came to the Americas and up to the hills and the Appalachians. This is a story that has traveled around. People have feet, they take their stories with them. This story is called El Gallo Jose. One day, a letter came to the farm, and it was addressed to the rooster Jose, El Gallo Jose. And it was an invitation to his uncle the parrot's wedding, Tio Perico. Now, on the morning of the wedding, Jose got up very, very early. He was excited, and he made sure that he cleaned himself and he preened his feathers, and he was very, very clean and very, very elegant. And he set off for the wedding of his Tio Perico. Now, along the way, he saw a kernel of corn by the side of the road. It was sweet golden, so tasty looking. Oh, he had started so early, he hadn't had breakfast. So tempting and so close to a mud puddle. If I eat that corn, I'll dirty my beak, my pico. And if I have a dirty pico, I can't go to the wedding of my Tio Perico. I will not eat that corn. I will not eat that corn. But he did. And he did dirty his pico, his beak. Now, could Jose go to the wedding of his Tio Perico with a dirty pico? No. Poor Jose. He looked around and he saw some grass growing by the side of the road. So he marched over to that grass and said, "Grass, grass, clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my Tio Perico." But the grass did not like being bossed around by a bossy little gallito, a bossy little rooster. And the grass just swished back and forth and said, "No quiero, no quiero. I don't want to, I don't want to." In other words, no way, Jose. How could that grass refuse me? Oh, Jose looked around and he saw, sheep. There was a sheep in the meadow right there. So he called out, "Sheep, sheep, eat that grass that won't clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my Tio Perico." But the sheep didn't like being bossed around any more than the grass did. And that sheep said, "No quiero. No quiero. I don't want to. I don't want to." In other words, no way, Jose. Ooh, now Jose's getting angry. And he looked around and he saw a dog, Pero, and he said, "Dog, dog, go bite that sheep that won't eat the grass, that won't clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my Tio Perico." But do you think the dog liked being bossed around? No. And the dog said, "Oh, no quiero. No quiero. I don't want to. I don't want to." In other words, no way, Jose. Ooh, Jose was really not liking this. He spotted a stick in the road and he said, "Stick, stick, whack that dog that won't bite the sheep, that won't eat the grass, that won't clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my Tio Perico." But the stick didn't even like being bossed around, and it said, "No quiero, no quiero. I don't want to, I don't want to." In other words, no way, Jose. Oh, now Jose is looking around. What else? He saw a fire, a little fire burning and crackling by the side of the road, and he said, "Fire, fire, burn that stick that won't whack the dog, that won't bite the sheep, that won't eat the grass, that won't clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my Tio Perico." But the fire, it just crackled and burned and said, "No quiero, no quiero. I don't want to, I don't want to." In other words, no way, Jose. Woo! Well, now Jose marched over and he saw the water gurgling and he said, "Water, water, douse that fire that won't burn the stick, that won't whack the dog, that won't bite the sheep, that won't clean the grass, that won't clean my pico so I can go to the wedding of my tío Perico. But the water, it just gurgled and said, no quiero, no quiero, I don't want to, I don't want to. In other words, no way, Jose. Oh, poor Jose. He looked up at his friend, the sun. Sun, soul, dry up this water that won't douse the, that won't burn the, that won't hit the, that won't bite the
sheep,
that won't eat the
grass,
that won't clean my feet, so I could go to the wedding of my tío Perico. And the sun said, with pleasure, my friend, if you will do something for me. Will you crow 3 times every morning and wake me up? And Jose said, with pleasure. Now, the water had overheard the sun's promise. And the water gurgled and said, oh, pardon me, I will gladly douse the fire. And the fire crackled and said, pardon me, I will gladly burn the stick. And the stick said, oh, pardon me, I will gladly whack the dog. And the dog said, oh, pardon me, I will gladly bite the sheep. And the sheep said, oh, pardon me, I will gladly eat the grass. And it did. And the grass said, pardon me, I will gladly clean your pico. And it did. And Jose was once again very, very clean, very, very handsome. And he was able to go off to the wedding of his tío Perico, where he danced and he sang and he had so much fun, and they told stories all day and into the night. It was a very long night for him, but not so long that he did not forget his promise to the sun. And early the next morning, he woke up and he crowed 3 times to wake the sun. Now, you know how the rooster crows? He says, cock-a-doodle-doo. But in Spanish, he says, kiki-la-ki. Try that.
Kiki-la-ki.
Okay, get your wings ready. 3 times. Kiki-la-ki, kiki-la-ki, kiki-la-ki. And that is why the rooster crows and why the sun comes up every morning. Now that version can be found probably here in your library, a book by Joe Hayes, who is from New Mexico, and it's called No Way Jose.
No way, Jose.
No Way Jose.
No way, Jose.